Terry at first glance might seem like a straightforward character. Throw a power wave to force them to approach. If they jump, anti-air with rising tackle. If they walk forward, check them with medium burn knuckle, which can also be plus on block if you space it properly. Or use your crouch medium kick, which hits low and has great range. Both of these allow you to start your offense, and if you guess correctly, you can make them explode with Terry's great combo game. But to master Terry, you need to learn some of his more complicated combo routes and learn how to use all of his moves to form a proper game plan. Also, as of this recording, I'm in the top 10 Terrys in North America, so you know you're in good hands. Timestamps below, let's get started. Let's start with Terry's normals. You got stand light, punch, crouch light punch, stand light kick, crouch light kick. His lights are pretty standard. Crouch light has a little bit more hit stun than his stand light punch. So for example, something like this is a very basic combo you can do with Terry. However, if you use stand light punch, it actually doesn't combo and you'll be punished, right? So the main benefit of stand light punch actually has more range than crouch light punch. So for example, there's certain combos where you have to end in stand light punch just so you get that extra range, and that'll combo into DP, does really good damage. But in terms of mashing, usually because it's crouching, I'll just mash crouch light punch. So crouch light kick is just your standard low confirm. So for example, like if you're trying to mix up people with overheads, you might want to throw in a crouch light kick as well. And like obviously this right here will combo, or after drive rush, you can do something like this. Into whatever, right? But yeah, drive rush, crouch light kick into crouch medium punch is pretty good use of that as well. Other than that, you're not really using this as much. You don't want to like mash with this because like you're not going to get any damage off this, right? Stand light kick, this is like probably his best neutral button, right? It goes the furthest. It's also really good for punishes. So having a 5-frame punish that goes pretty far is actually really important this game. And the other thing it's useful for is that at max range, it combos into this tackle, and the tackle is +4, which means that you get like an additional combo after it if you're like at the right spacing. And there's like certain spacing traps we could talk about that utilize this, but the most common situation is like after like a drive rush light normal, crouch medium punch, stand light kick, and then tackle, that'll be +4. All right, so let's talk about mediums. This crouch medium punch, this is like your typical like I need to check drive rush or whiff punish something. It's really fast. You can drive rush cancel it, get a bunch of damage. On just regular hit, goes into medium knuckle or medium tackle. Medium knuckle does a little bit more damage, but medium tackle can like give you a safe jump. So it's kind of up to you what you want to use. I just almost always go into medium knuckle because like the corner carries on it's really good. The other thing I like crouch medium punch for is whiff punishing throw. So a lot of his like shimmy normals aren't the best. Crouch medium punch is actually really good on reaction. And on punish counter, it goes into heavy tackle. So 3k off of a punish counter, crouch medium punch, really, really good. Also, like it's really good for punishes, right? So like, let's take for example, like this, right? Same idea. 3k for punishing a -6 move, really good. All right, stand medium punch. Stand medium punch is just interesting. So it doesn't look like that great of a normal. It goes forward a little bit. Doesn't have that great of range compared to some of the stuff, but the main advantage is it has multiple target combos you can do. The strongest one I think to just throw out is this medium punch heavy punch. And if you're new to Terry, I would be abusing the shit out of this because it's pretty much always safe unless you're really close. So for example, like I could it's -5, but you see at my 5-frame whiffs. Even if I'm like I have to be like literally point blank, and in that case don't do it there, right? It also naturally frame traps, so if people are just mashing, they'll just get counter hit. So it's really good at like blowing up new players too. But even at high level, like if you just see people that like to press buttons along your block strings, you can just kind of like walk up and press this button with like not that much risk. I also has a couple other target combos that don't get used as much. Medium punch heavy kick is it's a good target combo mainly for like juggles. So for example, after punish counter stand heavy kick, you can do drive rush into this, and that's pretty much optimal right there, right? The thing a lot of people know, this actually has a just frame. You can delay the third heavy kick. So you see how it made that like little sound effect and did a little bit more damage? That's the just frame version. It's worth going for because like it doesn't really hurt, but it's really hard and don't expect to get it too often. Just be careful about throwing this out because it doesn't actually combo on counter hit. So it's really risky just to like kind of swing, because like even if you like see it hits, you might get screwed over. So he also has this like lane change target combo where you basically medium punch, medium kick into medium kick again to stay on the same side, or forward medium kick to guy and go on the other side. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This thing is pretty bad, at least currently, because on block you're just punishable. You can't do the follow up, and on hit like this just does more damage, right? So it doesn't really have much use in my opinion, unless like you're trying to corner swap. So for example, like after a punch counter DI, you can kind of reset like that. There's also what's I think it's like, right, you can do something like that as well. But most of the time, like instead of spending drive, I just go back throw and you get better Oki, and they're actually in the corner, and you don't spend drive, so you're recovering drive. All right, medium kick. It's like an okay poke. Like there are some better medium kicks, like Bison medium kick, but the main advantage of this medium kick is that on counter hit you can actually link level 1 super. And this thing does a crap ton of damage because the way it works is like normal into super, doesn't scale at all. So this is just really, really good damage. It's actually like, it's a pretty easy hit confirm. And you just get 3k damage. So like normally like I'll fish for it. Like for example, like let's say I'm doing a block string, and then like I'll wait a little bit and then see if I get the counter hit. You just have to be a little careful because if this doesn't hit, you know, you can't, the super won't combo. You see there, the combo counter reset there. But other than that, like unless you're fishing for level 1, I wouldn't really recommend throwing this button out more. And that's because you have the God button, which is crouch medium kick. This thing is absolutely insane. In my opinion, this is the best crouch medium kick in the game, and probably one of the reasons why you want to play Terry. The reason it's good, it's one of the longest range crouch medium kicks, and it's drive rush cancelable, or it's just special cancelable, right? Which means you can do drive rush into big damage off of a low, which prevents people from just walking back on you, which kind of ties into his whole game plan, because if they can't walk back, then it's really easy to space this. The other thing that kind of puts it above all other crouch medium kicks is this target combo. So this target combo is extremely strong for a couple different reasons. One is that instead of like just raw hit confirming, which like this is really hard, right? Like I could do this, but like if it's blocked, it's unsafe. Instead, I can go for target combo into H knuckle, good damage, good corner carry, and you don't have to spend any drive, which is a really important thing, right? And on block, it's still special cancelable, so you can go for a mix-up. Now, there's one downside, and that's if they have super, it's basically like impossible to bait it, right? You have to like drive rush cancel, then do nothing, and then super back. It's like kind of cringe. That is a possibility, but it's also like, let's just put it this way. I'm 1900 MR and no one's done this to me once. So please abuse this. So yes, it's very, very good. You can just kind of throw it on neutral, especially when you have drive meter. And realistically, when you're starting out with Terry, this is gonna be the main use of drive meter. Either this, or if they start to catch on to the target combo, you can just do drive rush into a button, and that way you're safe from like DPs and supers and that sort of thing. The whole idea is that you don't have to spend drive if this hits, right? That's the main benefit to something like this. Like, yes, this does more damage, but saving your drive, so on the next knockdown you can do something like this and then do the same situation again, is really, really strong. All right, heavies. Crouch heavy punch. This thing is an okay anti-air. It trades a lot compared to like a lot of other, oh yeah, see, it just loses. Compared to a lot of other normal anti-airs, this thing is kind of subpar. So I recommend not relying on this very much, even when you're starting off with the character. DP is a way better anti-air, right? It's mainly for combos. After drive rush, just combos in the H tackle. Like this works as well, which is really strong. So this is like his best combo starter. And then this works, and you see that already did 3k, and I did like a third of the combo. Think of this as combos and really bad anti-air. All right, stand heavy punch. This is it's also like, I'd say like this is like kind of your second shimmy normal. The main advantage of this is it's 2 hits, so you can do a lot of cool things with it. So for example, like let's say I set the dummy to random block, right? And I can't really hit confirm whether it hits or not. Like, see, I'm trying to drive rush cancel, I can't do it, right? But because stand heavy punch is 2 hits, I can drive rush cancel it on hit. On hit? What is that? You get the idea. Or you can like hit confirm it with a burn knuckle. Actually, I guess it's just medium, right? So you have a lot of different options to like kind of hit confirm it. So it makes for a pretty decent like meaty. The first hit naturally combos in the H tackle, which is like your big damage starter. All right, so crash heavy kick. This is his sweep. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This sweep is trash. This might actually be one of the worst sweeps in the game. I almost never use it. One, it's generally slower than a lot of sweeps. So one, compared to reuse sweep, it's slower, but it also has like oh my god, that didn't even whiff punch. Yeah, this thing's just bad. So instead, usually like after sweep, I'll punish with like crash medium kick into target combo into burn knuckle. Or if they're like really close, right, you can do something like this for max damage. It does have like obviously has some niche use, but like this should be the last button you actually use with Terry. All right, so stand heavy kick. This is a pretty decent button. It's a little too slow to like whiff punish a throw or like whiff punish some things, but like if it's like something really laggy, like let's take for example like this stand heavy kick is probably like your go-to whiff punch, right? Because this combo does like almost 3k, and even if this thing is blocked, I guess it's not the end of the world, right? It's only -4, which means that like at this pushback it's safe. So even on block, it's a pretty good situation. So think of this as like a long range whiff punisher. You can also like use it to kind of auto shimmy. Like for example, if they go for delay tech on knockdown, which is just a delay throw, I can just do a stand heavy kick and like kind of automatically time it so it beats a throw. You can also just kind of like throw it out there at this range, but I feel like if you're gonna throw out something, it probably should be burn knuckle, because this move's really good. All right, he has one command normal. It's just his overhead forward heavy punch. You're pretty much only using this like after a drive rush. It combos into crouch medium kick into burn knuckle. So if you want a really easy loop that will destroy new players, you can just keep literally looping this over and over. And if they're like below platinum, you just won the game. If you just keep looping this overhead, because that'll beat mashing, it'll beat a lot of things, and they have to block it overhead. And even if they block, it's plus on block. So that's the main way you're using the overhead. You can also just throw it out. It's a pretty decent like round ender. All right, so let's talk about his jump ins. Jump jab is your fastest jump in. So like sometimes I'll use this if I got like air to air something really quick. I've never used jump leg kick in my life. I don't know why you'd use this thing. Jump medium punch is probably your best air to air, because let's say they get hit, it has this like knockdown state compared to jump jab, which just kind of air resets them. So his jump medium punch kind of like floats them, which means you can like get a DP after. So it's really good for like characters that like the air stall. You can get some pretty decent damage, and you can like go into level 3 and now they're dead, right? Jump medium kick's really good as your cross up. So if you're ever behind the opponent, you just do jump medium kick and you can get a pretty decent situation. Jump heavy punch, it's okay. I feel like jump heavy punch is mostly outclassed by jump heavy kick. This thing has a really good hitbox. It's pretty disjointed, and it's just like really active. So I feel like jump heavy kick wins a bit more against like ground and anti-air. So I like to do jump heavy kick. All right, let's talk about specials. So let's start with the fireball. So the fireball, it's kind of weird. You have 3 different versions. The light one's just kind of your standard fireball. It'll go under other fireballs. It's like both a blessing and a curse, because like sometimes like if you do your fireball first, you'll win and you'll punish counter them, which is really cool. But if you do your fireball later, you'll get hit and they'll be able to block in time. So it's just treat it like a normal fireball, but the earlier you do it against their fireballs, the better. It's also pretty slow, which means that you can kind of like drive rush in, and right, you can get like a pretty decent combo like this. But realistically, it's not gonna hit that often. You mostly just like follow it in and like go for like a throw mix up or something. All right, so the medium power wave or fireball, whatever you want to call it, it's interesting, right? So if they're up close, it has the benefit of knocking them down on counter hit. So if this hits, right, that's really nice. So if you're using it as like a counter poke, you should probably use this version instead of this version, because this won't knock down, this knocks down, and then you can like, go for mix up and that sort of thing. The second benefit this has is, so let's say I try to parry the fireball. I can parry the light, but I try to parry the medium, and you see how I kind of flinch and the parry whiffs. Making their parry whiff is good for a couple reasons. One is like it wastes some of their drive, and two, if you read that they're gonna parry, you can do this and then drive rush throw. And you see this is a punish counter, which means it does a lot of damage. It takes a lot of their drive. Just a really good situation for you. So because of that, it'll make that opponent hesitant to parry your normal fireballs, which means they do drive damage. And this heavy version, it's mostly for combos, or you can use it for pressure. Like for example, I'll do stuff like this, and then this is plus on block, which means you get a throw mix up. Be a little careful because this is like perfect parry bait. Especially at high level, people are really good at perfect parrying this. I'm not the best, but you get the idea. Oh yeah, OD Fireball, this thing's good. It's really, really good in Burnout because they're just forced to take chip damage. I don't like to do it too much in neutral because like, this is a lot of drive, and even your mix-up is like, it's really hard to beat mashing. Like, let's say they're just mashing like after they block this. So like, even if I do it like here, like, it's really hard to like get a run up, walk up throw that beats jab. So mostly where I like it is like when they're in Burnout, because I could do this, and then I could go into Burnout loop pressure, which is really strong. This also combos, so like you'll sometimes see it in combos as well. All right, Burn Knuckle. Now this move is probably the GOAT. And Terry has the best crouch medium kick in the game, and I still think this move is better. Medium Burn Knuckle. I'm skipping light Burn Knuckle because this move is just so good. It does everything for you, right? If you space it out, it's plus on block. You can do jab after. You get all that damage after. This is really, really, really potent at this range. And if you get them to sit still, you can just go for a throw, right? This puts you in perfect throw range. So after blocking Burn Knuckle, you basically get a free mix-up, which is insanely good for a move that literally goes half screen. And even if you like misspace it a little bit, it's still safe. This is safe. It's still like they can't punish you for this, right? You can tell when you're plus when you get this little screen shake. This move is just insanely good. It's really good to throw out. It's also really, really quick, so like people can't react to it, right? Like I'm gonna try to perfect parry this. I'm just getting hit every time. Yeah, I can't do it. Oh, I can only do it like here at like the maximum spacing. But like if I'm a little outspaced, like here, I just whiff parry and then I die. Do I think DI is a really good strategy? Yeah, it's not even a good strategy. Because if you try to DI in reaction, you'll just get hit again. The only consistent strategy really is like you just gotta outspace it, right? So it means like you gotta walk back, make it whiff. You can neutral jump and punish it. You can also like walk forward and like, you know, mess up their spacing that way. There's definitely some things you can do, but again, if the opponent's playing really passive and they're waiting for your Burn Knuckle, that means you could just walk forward, take up some space, right? So this move just completely dominates the pacing of the matchup in some matchups. All right, so light Burn Knuckle, this thing is okay. You can use it as a combo ender. I don't recommend it because this is just better because corner carry and knockdown. It's also a decent mix-up tool. This is kind of gimmicky. Like if you just, like the second hit's an overhead, but if the first hit hits, it's a really, really slow overhead. But if the first hit whiffs, the second hit is still an overhead, and it's actually quite fast. And I haven't met anyone that can block this on reaction yet. So you can do this. You don't get that much damage off of it. 400, but like you can still like get a throw mix up, and it's good for like taking back your turn, right? Because like let's say the opponent just likes to mash, like you'll either trade or like let's say they do something slower, you'll counter hit them. So it's pretty good to like end your block strings with, and it's pretty hard to punish. It's only -5, so like they need to be really on point to be able to punish it because it looks like it should be a lot more punishable. Oh my, I didn't even block it there. Yeah, so that way I can't even punish it from like max range. But you get the idea. If you want to be really cheesy, this cancels into level 3. It's such a good round ender. I actually I'm doing this against some like really high level opponents, and it's working pretty consistently. All right, so anyways, H Burn Knuckle. This thing's pretty good as well. The issue with this compared to the other Burn Knuckle is it's slower, which means you might get perfect parried more, but it's also easier to make plus. You can see that all these spacings, These are all plus. Even that's 0, which means you can mash. He also has 2 OD versions of this. The OD core circle back light punch and medium punch. I guess it's like okay for like a mix up. Yeah, it's also pretty fast. It also hits overhead. It's still -5, and I guess the benefit is like it combos into level 2. I've never used this move once in my life. It's also like decent for combos, but again, I don't think his optimals use this very often. So again, I don't really go into this much. If I want to go into level 2 after this combo, I have to do like that EX move. That's the only real use I know for it. The other EX move, this is also like a pretty good punish counter starter. It's cool because like, let's say you block a DP, you could like punish counter this and they get a wall bounce, and I think you can do like something like that. But there's actually more optimal stuff. Like this is actually more optimal. It just does way more damage. So I don't know when you're actually supposed to use this either. Maybe it's like if you're close to the corner, there's probably like some optimal routing. I forgot you can do stuff like that, right? That's pretty nice as well. Yeah, it also combos in the level 2 because this doesn't. Oh, this does, but it just does less damage. And also the medium heavy and the lay and heavy versions are the same, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. Oh yeah, you can do this into that and then sheesh. All right, third special is his DP. There's 3 different versions. They're all good for anti-air, good for combos. Generally, you want to use the heavy version for most combos. Don't want to use light here because like sometimes it'll whiff. 95% of the time, if you're doing a combo and if you're starting out, you use heavy DP. Light DP is really good because it recovers really, really quick. Like this is probably one of the quickest recovering light DPs in the game. So like, let's say you accidentally whiff your anti-air. It's generally like a lot safer because like sometimes the opponent won't react, or like you, for whatever reason, you miss your anti-air. Like you might be like safer in like scramble situations, right? The other 2 DPs are decent for anti-air. Especially if you do them later. The heavy DP does do the most damage, but if you do them early for whatever reason, like the heavy DP doesn't do that much and the medium does a little bit less, but the light still does full damage, right? Generally, like I try to use light DP almost all the time for anti-air just because it's like, it's a lot safer and it's pretty easy to autopilot. But I think technically like heavy DP is more optimal in some situations when you can do it like really deep. And EX is just your standard reversal. Throw it out on wake up 10 to 15% of the time and you'll be good. Mistake a lot of beginners make, they try to use this as anti-air. Generally you just, you know, use the meterless version. Drive is really important. Crack shoot, 4 special. This is probably his worst special, to be honest. The heavy version's good for combos, right? You've seen this combo a million times. The medium kick version, pretty decent. I'd say I probably use the medium kick version the most. It goes pretty far. Like it can go over fireballs. It can go over like low pokes. It's kind of good just to like throw out in this range because you do get a knockdown, and even on block, like it's just safe, right? And if you space it out properly, like you're not in throw range, so the punishment for blocking it's not really that bad. You can like throw it out after like some things on block, and like this will. So for example, like people are mashing after your crouch medium punch, it'll frame trap them, yeah, and so like you can like kind of maintain your turn. I don't recommend throwing out the heavy version much just because it's kind of slow. It loses to DI, it loses to like perfect parry, but you can't throw it out like very rarely. Most of the time when I use a crack shoot, it'll like whiff, or like I'll just be in throw range and I'll be like, damn, I should have done medium bird knuckle. Realistically, like most of the time you're doing crack shoot, you should be doing medium bird knuckle. It's also like a decent round ender. Like I'll sometimes like do crack shoot on their wake up. Like let's say I need the like beta shimmy, like I'll just do like dash up, or I need the beta throw, I'll just do dash up crack shoot, and like this will catch, it'll punish counter. But it also like covers a lot of other options. Like let's say I don't know, they like jump or something, it'll catch that as well. Yeah, it's also like kind of anti-airs preemptively. Like you just throw it out and they happen to be jumping, like you can get a hit. And you actually get like a juggle after it too, which is kind of nice. Same thing with OD. I Honestly, I never use this move. There's some combos that use this. I don't think any of them are good. The main place I'll do this is when they're burned out, right? So crack shoot actually kind of takes a life of its own. If they're burned out, you can just kind of keep doing this string over and over. But you'll see like eventually they'll get pushed out. See how that crouch medium punch whiffed? So what you can do is you can cancel an EX crack shoot, which brings them closer, and you can just kind of keep rotating this, right? And this makes a really, really strong burnout loop. Let's talk about the supers. Level 1, it's your standard invincible super. Very good on wake up, especially if you're low drive or you have no drive. I would spend level 1 instead of doing ODDP. So it's really good if you have a read that they're gonna do a meaty against you, because they'll beat that. It's also a relatively fast super too, so it's pretty good for like reacting shit. Like let's say you're trying to react to like a burn knuckle, like you could just kind of do it. It goes forward, which is like really strong, especially like compared to other supers. You can just like buffer it, and it's pretty good. It does decent damage as well. Pretty much after any combo, like you can sneak it into. Generally you're only trying to spend level 1 super if it's gonna burn out or it's gonna kill. If it's not gonna burn out or it's not gonna kill, don't spend super in your combos. Level 2 super, the nice thing about this, it's also attack super. It's on core circle back, so like if you're ever burned out, like you can just kind of buffer it, and then if they do something, it'll come out, which is kind of nice. If you press punch 2 punches again, you'll do the follow-up, cost 3 drive, and if you do another 3 punches, you spend another meter, right? So actually some of his optimal combos use this instead of level 3 because they'll do a little bit extra damage. But realistically, like between this and level 3, they're really similar in damage, and sometimes like level 3 can do more damage. Advanced Terry shit, right? The main benefit to this super is it's on core circle back, so it's easier to react to stuff. It also can like go through fireballs, which is kind of cool. Level 1s can't. So like let's say I'm just like buffering and like, okay, I see that. All right, now you just took 4k damage for doing a fireball. And also like it makes up for a pretty good anti-air too. It is a little slow, but like yeah, you just took 4k for getting jumped on. Level 3, it's your standard level 3. The nice things about level 3 is that it restores your drive and drains the opponent's drive. So like let's say I land something like this. Again, level 3 is you can pretty much tack it onto any of your combos at the end. Now I'm at full drive and my opponent only has 2 bars of drive, and then I do this stuff, and let's say they block, like they're gonna be even less drive. So I recommend usually for if you're a new player, almost always spending level 3 when you have it. But you know, as you get more advanced, like there's a lot of strategy that goes into when you use your level 3. Terry's no exception. It's pretty much standard strategy. Let's talk about Terry combos. So when you are new to the character, you want to minimize the amount of combos you're learning. Thankfully, you can get by with only a couple combos with this character. The first is just combo into heavy shoulder. So punch, counter, crouch, medium punch, heavy shoulder, stand heavy punch, punish, counter, heavy shoulder, then heavy punch, 1 hit, combos in the heavy shoulder. So you see there's a lot of opportunities to like combo into heavy shoulder. And this H shoulder cancels in the H knuckle, you double dash, and then you get a strike throw mix up. That's really it. And you can land this in a number of different ways. So let's take, for example, the opponent does DI, especially if you're new, right? Same idea, stand heavy punch, 1 hit, H tackle, H knuckle, double dash, get a mix up, right? Even if the opponent DPs, you can do the same exact thing, except you just let the stand heavy punch hit twice. The cool thing about Terry is he has a lot more advanced combos, right? One of the iterations off this H shoulder is he can do this crack shoot, and this heavy crack shoot, and you have to delay it slightly to get these straight hits. And this combo actually does more damage. Now there's some debate on which combo you should do. Generally, I go for the H knuckle because I value the corner carry and the better mix up. So some of the things that make me go for the H burn knuckle is if I'm low on drive, I don't want to go for this combo because I'll have to spend drive for a mix up, right? But if I ever want to go into super, I have to go do this route because I can't cancel the other route into super. Now, there's a couple other combos I think you should learn. These light shoulder loops are really important. The most common way I get the light shoulder, crouch lights, crouch medium punch, stand light, and then you can do whatever ender you want. That's the most common ender, is just go into DP, but you know, you can do stuff like this and then do another light shoulder. It's pretty good. You get a restand, or you can, you know, do the crouch light into medium bird knuckle. They're all really good. Another really common way I'll get this, if I'm doing like a delay, like a crouch jab at like this range, it combos on counter hit the stand light kick, and I can get the same follow up, right? The other most common way I get this is like if they ever block this like medium bird knuckle and then they mash after, it sets up the perfect spacing for you to get that tackle as well. And you can also land the tackle like if you're like really cracked, like you kind of like recognize specific distances that this will work. Like take for example, like I ever land this, I can still get the light tackle, right, at this range. So instead of going the like medium bird knuckle here, I can just go into light tackle and then tack on quite a bit extra damage, right? All right, in the corner, it's pretty much the same, except when you do H tackle, you can cancel it into H fireball, and then you can end in DP. So drive rush combo, the very easy combo to do is crouch medium punch, stand heavy punch, and to tackle into, you know, your typical ender. This works after almost every drive rush except jab, and then jab you just do jab, crouch medium punch, right? And then you can kind of like do this. And that's pretty much it for drive. There are ways to optimize this, right? So for example, if it's like a crouch medium punch, you can go into stand medium kick. That does a little bit extra damage. It's a lot easier just to autopilot this because it does pretty similar damage. All right, so let's talk about strategy. And I'm gonna do strategy a little bit different. Anyone in chat that's like low masters, high diamond wanna play, a quick 2 out of 3. Give me your MR as clearly someone that's master, but okay. Anyway, so let's talk about the Terry match in real time. So I've never played this guy before. I don't know who it is. I'm gonna look for a place to medium knuckle, right? And then I'm just gonna go in. Now I could hit from that one. I was looking. Oh, I did not combo that optimally. But you see, like, yeah, just playing strike throw, dash forward after throw is automatically times the throw loop. So I'm gonna see if they know how to deal with it. Are they XDP'd? Oh, that was a good punch. They got those? Oh, they went that version. Okay. I'm gonna look for crouch medium kick. They're trying to play these like footsies. Oh, and I could have anti with a DP, but all right. So he's playing a little bit aggressive. Yeah, yeah. Overhead. See if he knows how to deal with. Oh, I just mistimed it. Oh, that was a good whiff punch. All right, he already burned himself out. I get a combo. Again, we can do the routes we talked about. I missed the delay. Oh. And now he's actually just screwed. Because that DI was guaranteed. And then I just go to level 3, he's dead. And the reason that DI was guaranteed, if you do drive rush, crouch, medium punch into DI, and they don't have super, and they're burned out, you get a guaranteed stun there. So this guy's pretty aggressive. So it's really important for me to be like really on point with my anti-airs and like maybe try to whiff punish like a burn knuckle. Unless he wants to like just walk in. That was good. Oh no, he doesn't know the combos, so I'll just kind of like gap him if I know like better combos than him, right? I'll try to go for a burn knuckle. Oh, I missed the overhead block. That still is kind of tricky. DI is really good if they're burned out. Oh, that was actually really clean on his part. Stand medium kick does combo into that. All right, I'm gonna keep up with the pressure. All right, see, I'm abusing Target combo. All right, wait for the anti-air. Go for oh, good backdash. And then I can just keep doing the drive rush combo. If you ever want to extend a drive rush combo, you can just literally keep looping it. Oh, I missed the combo. Yeah, see, so like that's the bad side about Burn Knuckle is like he basically put himself in the corner by doing Burn Knuckle too close. I'm gonna go first. Yep, see, he crouched or he stood up, and that's the power of like having one of the best crouch medium kicks in the game, right? If they ever stand up, you just clip them low, drive rush, and then you make them explode. Okay, so if you made it this far in the video, you might be wondering, how to improve a Terry. I think, watching the guide, maybe rewatching it, pick up some stuff you didn't pick up. It's a great idea. But realistically, if you want to get better, you either have to head online, and which I'm sure you guys are doing, or you want to practice drills. And some of the drills that I recommend practicing with Terry, obviously very basic, like being able to anti-air with Terry, very, very important, right? Because it makes this fireball game just that much scarier, right? Because like any time a fireball's thrown, and if they don't get a punish counter, that means you could have anti-aired, right? Being able to anti-air at this like cross-up range is also really important. If you don't know, this is called a cross cut. You basically do like a half circle back and it'll auto-correct your DP. The other thing I would practice if you're new to Terry is this crouch medium kick confirm, right? So put the dummy on random block. On block, go into drive rush into throw, or you can do drive rush crouch medium punch into throw. On hit, you just go into H knuckle. So I definitely practice that. You can also do random guard on counter hit, and make sure you can hit confirm this into level 1 super. This one's a little bit trickier. If you want to be really cracked, because you're going to be doing a lot of drive rush crouch medium punch. So for example, like after any cancel, drive rush crouch medium punch is really good. Being able to hit confirm this is really important. So this drill is going to be drive rush crouch medium punch. And then on hit, you always go into stand heavy punch, right? Into your B&B. And on block, you go into throw, or you can just go into shimmy, right? You can like walk back, see if they whiff a throw, press crouch medium punch. So let's put this on random guard, show you it's doable. See? So pretty doable. Another thing, if you're trying to get good with Terry, because his auto shimmy game is not that great, if the opponent does either drive parry or whiff throw, we'll say they like delay a throw slightly, and they rotate between these two, I want to be able to punish either one. So if they whiff a throw, I want to be able to punish with this. And if they parry, I want to be able to walk up parry in time. All right, so I got to throw. And then if you want to make it even harder, you can have them jump forward out of the corner. And this is some of the stuff, in order for me to improve my Terry, this is the stuff I have to do. Just to show you, give you an example. All right, we got that. Okay, well, you get the idea. That did punish. I was trying to do a regular DP. A little sloppy on my cross cut. All right, got the punish counter. Got the DP. You get the idea. If you really want to improve your Terry, do drills like this. It'll get you a lot further than just playing ranked match. Anyways, if this guy was helpful, consider like, sharing, and subscribing. It really helps out the channel and helps me make more guides like this, right? If people don't sub off these guides, I'm gonna be real. I'll probably keep doing them because I like making guides. It helps me, it helps the community. I really like that. But it'll encourage me to make more guides, especially if this helped you, and you can kind of pay it forward. Anyways, let me know down in the comments below if anything else I could have included. Obviously, there's some additional combos, additional tech out there, but I didn't want this guide to go on for 3 hours. Anyways, have a good day and peace.